Well, today we're joined by Mr. Thomas Hammarberg, European Commissioner for Human Rights, talking to us from Strasbourg. Thanks very much, Mr. Hammarberg, for joining us. Now, let's get right to it. Well, we know that there were CIA prisons in Europe and people were tortured, and now you're pushing for the truth. What more should we know?
There's a lot more to know, in fact, because we haven't had a full account for what really happened and who took the decisions and on what grounds when these black sites were established on European soil.
Of the things that we still have to know, what do you think is most important?
I think we have to learn from history, and unfortunately during this period of 10 years, very serious human rights violations were committed, and we have an atmosphere of impunity when it comes to these violations of human rights. I think the truth has to come out on what really happened, who took the decisions, who allowed the establishment of these secret places of detention, and thereby allowing torture to take place.
Now, and since this story came to light, I mean, there have been some governments ordering investigations. Well, they found very little so far. Do you think it's possible that they're deliberately trying to play it down? And if so, is there any proof of them doing so?
Well, there's an enormous pressure from Washington to keep all this secret. In fact, instructions from CIA with the support of the White House not to give any facts on this. So therefore, it's not easy to investigate. But I think that some of the European governments who have been involved, they have to decide whether they think that the cooperation between the security agencies are more important than to look into human rights violations and break the atmosphere of impunity.
Okay, well, we're talking here about European officials authorizing these rendition sites, but what about those who actually masterminded them, those who were directly involved? Do you think CIA officials will ever be held accountable for their actions?
Unfortunately, it's not likely, but if the European governments involved could take the step to really put out everything they know and publish that, it may start a process in the United States where the accountability also there is established.
But why is it not likely? You say that CIA officials...
It's not likely because there is an atmosphere of security, confidentiality around this. It's a notion that when it comes to the activities of a security agency, the truth shall not be told to the public. And I think that is a real problem, because here we have had cooperation between the United States Security Agency and European agencies, under which human rights violations were seriously violated. And it is very important that we now, when we know that violations were made, that we establish that there should be democratic control of the security agencies' activities.